So CDC simply is nothing but a concept of change data capture, which is introduced in ODI 11G and prior also. Basically, let's see, I think, do you aware of Golden Gate concept, the replication
No.
process? Okay, so what it is trying to do, the Golden Gate replication process, is when there is a change in the table, I mean, say there is any record is inserted, deleted, or updated, it is going to be captured the record immediately and placed in other table.
Other
The
table
same
means
way,
target table or what?
other table, it will create tables during runtime and it will place over there. It's like a
Okay.
replication process. Like, you know, let's see how a rack server DBS works out. Let's say you have rack 1 and rack 2. Let's say during runtime your rack 1 is failed, but our production systems are still running. Right? How this can be worked out? And both racks is used to have same data, right? See, we do have different node concept, grid concept in real time. Let's say the rack 1 is failed, but you know, internally this rack 1 and rack 2 is to maintain the replication process internally. Let's say you're trying to load data into the rack 1. Immediately the data will be available in rack 2. They are trying to use some replication tools internally. Oracle has a replication of Golden Gate.
Okay.
Right. So when there is a failure, immediately they are trying to get the data from rack 2, because you know, when the replication process is going on, immediately the changes will applicable into the rack 2. So RTD is going to be available and I'm trying to fetch my data into from rack 2 only. When the rack 1 is available, I'll go to the rack 1 and I'll get the data accordingly. So how our CDC works here? So CDC simply says that it's a change data capture. The name itself showing, you know, it is trying to capturing the data which is going to be changed. So it has when we are trying to configure the CDC, it is trying to create some view tables. When you're trying to create the CDC, it is trying to create the views. Right.
Okay.
Let's see how our CDC works in real time. Let's say you may have some 60 million of the records in your source table. And your source table is, you know, it used to change every 5 minutes. It's like a real-time table. So in this type of situation, every time, let's say every 5 minutes is trying to add some 50K records. Every 5 minutes, 50K records. See, we do have existing 10 at 10 a.m. we have 60 million, and at 10:05 we do have 50. At 10:10 we do have another 50K, and 10:15 we do have another 50K records. See, when the time is changing, obviously the record is every time I'm going to get 50K, 50K, 50K. So in the real time, we use to run the mappings. If they are real time, we are trying to run them continuously. When you're trying to run continuously in the back end, it is trying to get 60 million plus 50K, right? And 60 million plus 50K every time. This is, the count is going to be increasing here. Let's see, 60.005 M records, and then 60.010 M records here, and 60.015 M records. So every time, see, but I have already processed the 60 million records, but I have only changed records of 50K from the source, but the source is trying to have all the records. Why should I get all the records again and again? Right? So my intention is to improve the performance over there, and okay, to meet the SLAs on time. So why should I get all the 60 million again and again? Because I know the data was changed, but I have already processed the 60 million records. Right? See, when I configure the CDC on this particular table, let's say this table is sales table. So when I configure the CDC here, it is trying to get the records which are going to be changed. I used to get only 50K records. These 50K records go and reside in a view. Right. So during runtime, can I call my view? instead of calling my entire table,
Yeah.
if you call your view during runtime, it is trying to get only the changed 50K records.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, once that these 50K records are processed, again this view is going to be pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this view is going to be pulse. So when next time when runtime is started, I used to get again 50K records.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the view is vanished when your job is completed. And the
Mm-hmm.
second time when the same view will populate with the new 50K records.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to populate this 50K. And again, this is going to be post the records in the view.
Mm-hmm.
Can't I improve my performance over here?
Yes.
True. Right. So this kind of way we can utilize CDC. And let's see, the CDC is supporting sales table. Let's see, you have a table of order underscore sales. Let's see, the order is a dimension table and order underscore is a fact table.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's see, fact table usually have a children, right? This is a parent here, this is a children. Let's see, here's a primary key, here's a foreign key.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, the primary key is, the one, and the foreign key it is trying to place the one same as it is. It might have several foreign keys here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's see, you all have applied CDC on your order cell, which is a fact table.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But you have not applied your CDC on your order table, which is a dimension table.
Mm-hmm.
So when there is a missing of child record, when there is a missing of parent record from the dimension table, let's say you have a foreign key of some 4,000, and the same was not missed, is not there in the primary in a dimension table. So
Correct.
is this going to be provide you integrity, differential integrity?
Yes, because it will not process that record.
Exactly. To avoid this situation, we do have two types of generalizing modules in CDC.
Mm-hmm.
One is think single. Sorry, I might forgot. Right, simple. I'm sorry. This is a simple one, and the second one is consistent set.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So these are the two types of knowledge model we do have. The simple one is trying to handle only, the sales table. But when you have a table of, order like this,
Mm-hmm.
consistent will do that. And you don't worry, we do have an option in ODI to organize the table, which is parent, which is child. When you click on those options, it will try to organize what is the order you are trying to load the data.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to apply this one, that should be happen with respect to dimension table also.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So do you have any questions? Can we jump into the practical now?
Yeah, so I have a few questions here. So, I have because my ODI mapping is not running every time. Maybe I have scheduled it after 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So let's say some records are happening in addition, deletion, or updation are happening in the source table. So how will what? How will it get into the view? I mean, what is the trigger? Is it like ODI is saying that, okay, these are the new records, may put it into the view, or there is a setting we have to do in the database side? Because, these are two different things. Database is separate and our ODI is separate.
Exactly. True. It's a good question. Let me walk through that. See,
Okay.
I'm not going to be showcasing anything over here, and I'm just trying to showcase you EMP table. We are trying to apply CDC on EMP table.
Okay.
So when you have a look at EMP table SQL, and remember this is the SQL what we have currently. I'm trying to pop in the SQL. So how our ODI will take care of that? Let's see. This is the table we do have. But your
Yes.
question is true, in that during runtime, when you configure CDC, this is what ODI. ODI does not have any third party running any third-party engine internally.
Mm-hmm.
It is trying to depend on the either source, either target.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's Informatica, we have third-party engine, like that's what we are calling as Informatica or data shares or a bin show. But ODA does not have any engine internally. It is trying to process in-memory processing, and it will hit the expressions, filters, whatever we have into the database level only. Wherever you're trying to do all your mappings or whatever you want. Right. So let's see, I'm trying to expand my views also under Scott schema. Okay. And you are right, it is trying to create one trigger in runtime.
You mean to say trigger is created on the table, employee table?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. See, I don't have any views, and let's see the triggers if I have any. Right. I don't have any triggers over here. Okay. Now just go to your ODA now, and there's nothing to do in the projects tab. We do everything in the designer only. Right. We do have our EMP table here. Okay. Just right click over here. And you can find out the option change data capture. Okay. On top of that, okay, here is your model. When you double click on your model, and there will be how you ask me all the conditions how this can work out. So if you go to generalizing, we do have two types of generalizing here. Right. So consistent set, and we do have simple. I'm trying to go with the consistent now. I'm sorry, simple for the understanding purpose, and make sure you have imported your knowledge module. Okay, before doing that, make sure you just import your knowledge module. Just click on Oracle simple, and we do have a consistent, we do have Oracle consistent.
Okay.
Just click on save.
So for the whole schema or whole model, you have selected simple.
Exactly.
Not for the employee table, but the whole model.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now just go to the EMP and go to the change data capture. See, we do have options here. Add to CDC. I'm trying to add this table to the CDC. Just click on CDC. It is going to be asking, are you sure? Yes. Now, see, it is trying to showcase some symbol. Are you able to find out the clock symbol?
Yeah.
Right. Now, again, just go to change data capture and click on start journal.
Okay.
It is trying to ask the subscribers. So if you have any we do mention the subscriber.
What is subscriber?
Right? Subscriber is the one where it is going to be run.
You mean the user? Because
we do. I think it's all about the users. You can add your subscribers here, like users, and we are trying to ask him to run here. In the
like
particular
users means what? Because we log in into repository using supervisor, right?
Exactly.
So what are the users? Supervisor could be the user, but what else? Where we define all other users?
Here you can define. You can see subscriber is the one where you are trying to give access to the table. It's simply nothing but you are trying to give access to the table.
So you mean to say database username?
No, not at all. It's different, and ODA level is different.
Okay, I mean
it's
so let's say you have given ODI here and you add it and you say okay, will it work?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We do have just subscribe a name only. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Name. Just give any name.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And just click on add. Just trying to ask you run. Just click on run over here.
Okay.
So it is perfect. I mean, say it ran fine. If it ran fine, then this will become a green symbol. See, that was started. Look at here.
Yeah.
That was changed to the green symbol. That should be changed to a green symbol. And if it is failed, just go to your operator, click over here, and see here. Today is 26 our time, and it will showcase the steps how that was added. Okay. Now just go to the designer. So this was just added. Now, I'm going back to the database, how this was configured internally. Okay. Now, just go to your SQL, EMP SQL. I'm trying to refresh it. See here. It is added a new SQL, a trigger over on the EMP table. Right. And now, just refresh the trigger here. Want to get my trigger, which is active mode. Now, just refresh your tables now. Look at here, it is trying to add a table $EMP.
But it should be view. You said view.
One second, let's see. Okay, and view. Just refresh here. See here, it is trying to create two views.
So what is that table $EMP?
One second, let me show you that. Okay. So a $EMP is the one which is, let's see the options over here. It is trying to get the, let's see in EMP table, what's the primary key? Employee number is the primary key. See, it has created a structure of the subscriber, the consumer, flag, date, employee number. So the subscriber is nothing but, so what we have given?
User.
Synopsis. Synopsis subscriber. The consumer. So consumer is usually have character 1. Usually that's usually have 0. And I have showed the option right here. When you're trying to get your view only. Okay. During runtime in the mapping, I'm trying to enable the option get only view data. Instead of avoiding the 60 million, I'm trying to get the view data, which is a changed data. Okay. So the JN consumer is trying to change it to the 1 then. During runtime only. Initially the flag is 0. Flag is 0. Okay. And with that, when you're trying to get same model in your mapping and you're trying to enable generalizing store, I'll show you that option when we are doing that. Just remember that. During runtime, it is trying to update the value to the 1.
You mean to say, let's say, generalization has started and a data will go, let's say a record is inserted or updated. That record will go to the view, and at that point of time the value is 0. When it is consumed from the view and moved to the target, then it becomes 1. Or how does the value become 0 and 1?
Okay, I'll show you. Okay. Let's remember that. I'll do that. Now, it just created a EMP and just go to the DEM views. It has created everything. Let's look at the data. It doesn't have any data because the existing structure does not change any data. Okay. And see, you can see the same structure with these two. Okay, then why it's created two views? Okay, just remember that question and I'll explain that. Now, I'm just going to my employee table, EMP. I'm trying to applying changes here. Let's see the 1003 employee number have a commission of 500. I'm trying to commit my value. Right. And now go back to your $EMP table. Let's see here.
So we are getting two users, ODI and synopsis both.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where everyone is going to be confused. And the disadvantage of simple only. Let's see. You have 50K records. Right. And the table is usually have 10 subscribers. When the record is changed, it is trying to create every record with every new subscriber. Let's see, 50K into 10, 500K records. Right. So why it's trying to create 500K records is simply saying that as a user A, I have consumed all the records. Right. But what will be happen at the end of the day? When you consume the records, ODI will purge those records. So when it is trying to purge the records of A subscriber, then how about the B? B should access it, right? See, A usually accesses those records early morning 6 a.m. B is going to access that early morning 6:15.
And when you say
See,
access, it means, you know, running your ODI mapping and putting into the
exactly,
target?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And D is going to be accessed at 9 p.m.,
Yeah.
9 a.m., early morning. See,
Correct.
A is process the records,
Mm-hmm.
right? When A is process the records, 50K will be pulse.
Mm-hmm.
But if the 50K is pulse, how about B, C, D, and rest of the users? Okay, they can't access it because there is no data, change data.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So to avoid this stuff, all this stuff, it is trying to create every change record with respect to the subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I just changed the record 1003.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can see the consumed is I, J and flag either insert or delete. It usually has only two flags only. ODA supports only two flags, I
Not
or
update?
D. No, I simply denotes either update, either insert,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, either insert, either update.
Mm-hmm.
Right. D simply saying that delete.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the date, obviously, the current date.
Mm-hmm.
So the $EMP usually have only the primary key of the particular table only. Make sure of this. Okay. And JR consumed default should be 0.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you when this will be become 1, but don't expect you can view the data. I can showcase in ODA logs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go back to your views now.
Mm-hmm.
See the data. Can't I get my data now? So I changed the commission to the 500,
Correct.
right? So with respect to the employee number 1003, all of my data is available here. And let's go to JV dollar EMP. This is DEMP and this is only EMP, JV dollar. Look at the data over here. Are you able to see anything?
No.
Nothing. This is a true case. When you're trying to utilizing your view, when you're trying to selecting an option, generalize the data store only in the mapping, it is trying to get the data from this particular view only. Only this particular view, which does not have the data. It does not have the data, how that can consume the 50K records. This is your question. Okay, let's see how this will be worked out. On top of that, it is trying to create some metadata tables. S&P CDC object. Right. S&P CDC set. It is trying to get some counts over here. It is trying to get some metadata tables for that learning purpose only. Okay. The subscribers. How many subscribers will you have? Synopsis and ODA. Okay. And some will populate during simple. Some will populate during consistent set. Generalizing. Right. Now just go back to your mapping. So I'm trying to create one mapping here.
Okay.
Mapping, I'm creating CDC EMP. So I'm trying to drag and drop over here the employee table and let's take the target table. Okay. I'm not going to apply anything here, just it's a positive mapping, but we are trying to get only change records. Go to the physical. Just select your loading merge module. SQL to Oracle and integration is as usual. And I'm truncating my table.
So if you don't truncate, what will happen? It will just insert.
Insert, right? Now, see, I told you the option. Okay, so we should get only the change records. Why should I get all those? Why should my EMP should call all the existing records and new records? I should have to get only the change records.
So don't put, you know, truncate so that we can see. Oh, that's fine. It will only bring one record. Okay, that's fine.
See the EMP. When you click on the source,
Mhm.
okay, you can see the properties. On the bottom of the properties, you can see the option generalized data only.
Okay.
When you click over here, it is trying to get the data from the view.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
So let's see how that can get the data. Okay. So nothing apart from that. You just select that option only.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And just go to the logical and just go to the generalizing. See here. JRN subscriber is the synopsis only. Right. And JRN date is less than is a commented one. See why this one is placed here. Simply saying that this particular mapping is going to be consuming only synopsis data. Synopsis subscribing data. You do have another user, they're trying to get the subscriber as ODI.
Yeah.
Right. Accordingly, we can create multiple ones over there and here.
I mean, can we put
And
our second statement, generalized subscriber share is equal to ODI?
yes.
Okay.
And then if you'd like to filter out the records, it is have the on GRN date less than the particular date.
What does it mean?
Simply, see, this is the GRN date, right?
Yeah.
You do have, let's say the mapping is failed somewhere today, and there was no resolution. After 2 days, the resolution was completed. But meanwhile, you do have 3 days of the records. Right. If you would like to get the particular day record, you just apply a filter condition here.
So we can say generalized date is greater than that 3 days date, something like that.
Whatever you want. The date. So according to the records is trying to populate, you can get that date and you can give the AND condition. Then you can filter the records which are not required.
So tell me one thing, because it is getting records from the view, right?
Yes.
Now, how we can decide that, whether the view will be purged daily or after 5 minutes or after 3 days, where are we deciding? Because let's say I have a field mapping for 1 week and, I want to pull that 1 week data, but my view has purged. So how will, or only when the records are consumed, then only the view will be purged. How will that work?
Exactly. View is purged when the records are consumed.
Okay. So is there a flag which says, oh, record is consumed now, you can, so will it purge the whole view or it will purge only certain records which are consumed?
It purges all the records are consumed.
Okay.
Okay. So clear?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saving this and just run your mapping. Just go to the operator, just refresh it here. See, that is completed. Let's go to your target now. Right. I get only one record. Now, go to $EMP. I'm just refreshing it. See, where is my record? Synopsis was completed, right? Synopsis was loaded into the target.
Correct.
Right. But I do have ODA. If I give ODA over there, this is also going to be pulse. And let's go to view now. I'm sorry, not here.
It is in the
Underscore.
source.
Okay. Right. Can you see that? Doesn't have synopsis. And let's go here. It does not have any data. But during runtime, this will consume this data only. Now let's go back to your ODI.
No,
and
can you
try
say
to expand
that again? The second view. What did you say about the second view?
We selected the option in the physical generalize the data store only.
Correct.
During runtime, it is trying to get the data from $EMP.
Not from $DEMP?
Yes, true.
No, which one?
Exactly.
Which one is from?
This
from
is
where
the second one, $EMP only.
But like when we inserted a record, it was not present in the second view as well, right?
Exactly, exactly.
It
True,
was
you are
never
right.
there, whether even before the mapping or after the mapping.
Exactly, you are right. Okay, let me show you that, how that
Okay.
will do that. Just expand your logs step by step.
Mm-hmm.
So it is trying to create the work table, then applying log generalizer table.
Mm-hmm.
So loading the data.
Mm-hmm.
See, it is trying to get the data where synopsis. JRN subscriber as the synopsis one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did we select the option? Yeah, we did. See here, it is trying to updating $EMP,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is trying to update the $EMP, set JRN consumed equal to 1,
Mm-hmm.
where subscriber equal to synopsis,
Mm-hmm.
right? So where is $EMP? This is the one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, what is the JRN consumed for synopsis? That was 0.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you look at the DEMP of the SQL,
Mm-hmm.
it is trying to get the values where JRN consumed equal to 0. This is the select query. It is trying to do that, and let's analyze it. See, it is trying to get the values from $EMP,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be get the value, all the values, and let's look at the $EMP.
Mm-hmm.
Just refresh it. The above one is trying to get all the values to the $DEMP, but this one is trying to get consumed equal to 1 only. Earlier, when you have a $EMP, what was the consumed one? That was 0 only.
Mm-hmm.
But when the consumed become equal to 1, then only the view is trying to get the data into this particular view.
Okay.
Earlier, this is trying to get all the data, but the 0 data where they are consumed equal to 0, but
Mm-hmm.
$EMP trying to get the data where that particular view equal to
So what
1.
you are saying is, can you go back to that database again?
Yes,
So what you are saying, all the change record that goes into $EMP, and then all the records get copied from $EMP table to $DEMP view, and then only which are converted like one or which are like consumed, basically that goes to this view and processed, the second view.
exactly, exactly.
So, and
Right.
my question is that why we are doing this? Because, we are putting the data, same data in $EMP, and we are again putting the same data into this view, $DEMP. It's the same data, right?
Yes,
Nothing is changed in these two. Why we are doing this?
but this has the mechanism internally. This has the mechanism internally. That is where our question rises, but they said simply if you would like to get if you would like to get all the changed data. So these guys trying to do that only. The mechanism how that CDC works.
Okay, okay. So and let's say you know, in data warehouse we generally don't delete the records, right?
Yes.
Now let's say in my source one employee record has been deleted. So what it will do? It will delete from the target or what?
Obviously, see, you're trying to do EMP here. When you're trying to delete this particular record,
Mm-hmm.
let's delete it. Otherwise, this one, just commit it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to $EMP,
Mm-hmm.
the record should be deleted. See, synopsis is D.
Correct. Now
And the
if
same
you,
record,
yeah.
yeah, tell me now.
So now when I will run my mapping, then what will happen here?
See, when you're trying to run your mapping, there are options here in the target.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to integration knowledge module,
Mm-hmm.
and if you select or kill control append, see, sync JR and delete. If you select this one, it will delete the record from the target. If you select false,
Mm-hmm.
whenever there's a deleted record, it doesn't delete the record.
Yeah, generally what happens, like if you know in Oracle like OBI apps, let's say the record is deleted from the source, what it does is it go for that record in the target, it introduces a flag which says like soft delete, you know, because record cannot be deleted from target data warehouse. So what it does is it create a flag which says soft delete, but actually you can see the data, but it is not active, something like that.
No, it's like a STD type 2, right? It's
Uh,
simply saying,
Yeah, STD type 2. So basically what will happen, STD type 2 is only, you know, when you have a new record or you have a change record, it works. But when you are deleting the record from the source, it doesn't delete from the source, but it introduced a flag for that record, which is like soft delete flag, which says you, okay, this is a soft delete. It means it will not be considered for any kind of analysis in the reports.
you can do that. See, if you like to delete the record here, otherwise, as you said, you can write your own mapping like that and you can
Mhm.
implement here.
Okay, okay, okay.
That will, this is trying
Yeah,
to get as it is only. If you
and
don't want
now,
to delete the record, you just
right.
select the option false.
And now, tell me this thing. Oh, I'm just thinking one more question. Let's say, you know, in one day I execute my mapping 3 or 4 times,
Okay.
right? Now, what is happening? You know, let's say if in the morning I got some records, I processed it. Let's say they got succeeded, deleted from the views. Again I processed it, it failed. So you know, I mean I do, and yeah, I guess it answered my question, because you know it will not go to the source table, it will go to the view and it will check the date, and only records which are available in the view that will be, or not consumed, that will only be processed, right?
Exactly, correct.
Okay, yeah, I guess yeah, this is okay. And yeah, I think I'm good with this.
Cool. Okay. So
And what
I've
will
missed
happen
one
for
thing.
that composite? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I missed it here. So when we are trying to create, start our journal to the EMPW, it is trying to do some
Mm-hmm.
uh, creating views, creating tables, creating triggers, creating data view, and analyzing the table. See here
Mm-hmm.
the options.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing all the stuff internally. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can open this and let's look at the code. It's
Mm-hmm.
creating $EMP table with the required structure,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Okay.
And what is trigger? Basically, trigger is just a database table. So whenever insert, delete, or update happens, it will just take the record and put it in the view, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Now,
But I mean, one more thing is not clear to me is the user or subscriber, because you know, like it when we ran the mapping, it consumed the synopsis record, but not the ODI
yes,
record. Why it does not consume the ODI one?
because that's why I have showed you. when you select your source here, and sorry, logical. See, in the generalizing, that has a filter, only synopsis.
Correct. Now, tell me this thing. It's the same record only, though there are two subscriber. But let's say even if can you put here, add that ODI thing, and I was just want to see whether the two records will be added or one record. No, add both synopsis and ODI. Just put a synopsis and add the second statement as ODI. Correct. Because we should not have two records, right?
We have one deleted one, and look at here.
Yeah.
ODI has inserted, ODI is deleted one, and synopsis has a deleted record.
Now my only thing is that what I'm trying to say is, let's say when you insert one record, so it has one record is there for ODI, one record is there for synopsis, correct?
Yes.
Now in the target table, it should not insert two records. It should be only one record. You have inserted one.
Obviously.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to validate that it is not inserting two records, one for each subscriber.
It will give you, right, it will give you validation of that. We do have primary key and the employee number. If it is trying to insert the same record, that will obviously reject, right?
So I'm just trying to understand. Yeah, so basically, then what's the use of this? Because, it's only, yeah.
This table is using n number of users. Okay, and every user is trying to have their own target.
Okay.
Okay, in that situation, we can utilize it.
Okay, so it means in one mapping, it will be only, I would say, one subscriber, not more than one.
Exactly, if you are trying to pop the data into the same target.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And I would like to show you one more option in physical here. And let's see, your mapping is trying to run multiple times. Right? At the same time, let's see, your mapping series is running at 7 o'clock in multiple packages.
Okay.
Right? During runtime, it is trying to create some staging tables, right? So let's see, your package 1 is creating a staging table of EMP underscore AP. And package 2 is trying to create EMP underscore AP1. Sorry, EMP underscore AP, the work table. And again, it is trying to create a table EMP underscore AP in the third package. I have already a table of EMP underscore AP. Why? Then it is trying to create a staging table of second one. It will be failed because the already existed table. Right? To avoid the conflicts during runtime, if you are trying to utilizing same one in multiple times, we do have an option, use unique temporary object names.
Okay. Okay. It will not repeat the name basically. It will always create with a different name.
Different naming conventions.
Okay. Now here is again one more question here. Let's say I have same I have two different mappings, and only one user is there. Okay, and both mappings are using the EMP table, which is source. Okay, but these are going to different target.
Okay.
Now in that case, when the first mapping will run, it will consume the records.
Yes. Let me finish it over here.
Okay.
This is not related to the one which we selected here.
Okay.
Okay. So we selected synopsis, and I showed you that. So we can give unique temporary objects. This is not related to the series. This is related to the entire ODI when you are trying to create your either mappings, either packages, either procedures. It will be related to that only. This is not related to the series.
No, that is fine. That is fine. But my question was that if we are using the same source in different mappings, and first mapping is executed, it has consumed all the things from the view. Now nothing is in the view for the second mapping.
Okay.
How can we make sure that all the mapping should data should remain in the view unless all the mappings can consume it? Otherwise, first mapping run, it consumes. Now view is not doesn't have any data. Second mapping cannot get any data.
No, this is where I showed you, right? When the record is changed with respect to the user, subscriber, that will automatically populate, right, with every
So
record.
it means to say whenever we are using a same source in different mappings or package, there must be different subscribers.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. That answers my question.
Okay.
And how we can decide upon the what is the composite thing?
Which one?
Consistent, sorry, not composite, consistent.
Where?
You said simple and consistent set, two
Yeah,
different type of
consistent.
Yeah.
Simple. That is simple. See, you just practice your own and see, and go to generalizing here. Just select the consistent.
Okay.
And select your consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just click on save. Right. If you go to the tables here, just refresh it here. Okay. But we do have only EMP, right?
We can say, let's say EMP and department.
Yes. Just start your journal here on EMP.
Mm-hmm.
And just add this one to the C.
And we need to start the general for this as well.
Yes.
But you said, we need to define the dependency, which is parent, which is child.
That will take care. I'll show that.
Okay. I guess for EMP we already did that, and so I guess we need to first suspend it or then restart, because earlier we did for EMP. So
Yes.
I think we need to suspend it first or drop journal and then start again.
Right. And just enable it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So just refresh it here. I'm closing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just open your model again. Just go to generalizing table C. The order is, see, the order should be like first primary key, then foreign key. It is as it is now, right?
Okay.
Now, if you don't know the order, if you click on reorganize, see the order, okay? Look at the order. The order first, this is the second order. If you have a number of tables like this, if you click on here, it will select. Otherwise, if you know the order, just try to move up and down.
So it will decide based on primary key and foreign key, it will reorganize, right?
Exactly.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Yeah. And see, during production, what we do, we are directly exporting the table into the production, right? So we do not go into the production, right click, change data capture, add to CDC. Do we do that?
I don't know. You need to tell me.
We don't. No, we don't do that, right? In production, we can't simply run that. Okay. We need to automate the things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just remember that question, and we'll look into that when we are trying to work on packages.
Okay.
I'll show you. Even if you forgot, okay, don't worry. I'll work on it.
Okay.